Фотографировали греков.
Да. Нет, сейчас 3 часа у них как раз новый.
А где это наши, вы сказали? Там кто наши?
Это ренессансная были компания. Ага. Oh, hi, how are you? Nice to see you again. Да, там дальше. Ля Бель. Вон там, где красная палатка, где-то в этих краях или ближе. Они... Ну, я сейчас сниму грек, потом туда подойду.
Второй мировой наших нету, хотя я видела пару знакомых лиц, но не знаю, где они.
Здесь бывали какие-то индивидуалы раньше, просто прохаживались. Сами приходили в форме, но не, как бы и не участники, гости. Но каждый год кто-то был, несколько человек. Ага. А вот эти ребята из Канады сказали, вот который на барабане играет. Ну, 2 часа продержаться на ногах. Да, и чтобы на завтра сил хватило.
А вы в музее-то сами были в музее? Там...
Сейчас нет, в прошлом. Раньше все осмотрел, заснял.
Там что-то китайское, сейчас какой-то китайский фольклор.
Надо зайти, ну, может завтра зайдем. Я даже не все оббежал, посмотрел, не все. Ну, сегодня еще успеем. Мирослава вроде не было. Поляки есть те же самые. Все те же самые.
Тут греков целое это, да?
А их больше становится. В прошлом году вроде столько же было больше. Они в форте Лаудан будут, их будет больше, наверное. Да. Они как бы... У них все растет, прирастает. Количество увеличивается, они каждый раз новые что-то показывают. Вон палатку поставили там с выставкой. Ну, то есть...
Здесь солнце будет в глаза, надо
вот. И они каждый год, каждое лето в Грецию ездят на реконструкцию. Ну, кто-то каждый, кто-то не каждый. Они там все знают. И вот это вот с собой все тащат, вот эти вот копии. Один щит туда привезти. В самолете. Наших, как светится.
Они сами доплачивают эти перевозки.
Ну, я не знаю, финансирование, если кто-то получает. Тут, так сказать, они же секретно эти подписывают всякие договора. Где-то, не знаю, от парковой службы получают что-то. Денис Кубицкий говорил, с какого-то года запретили бесплатно участвовать. Должен заключить договор и что-то получить за этот контроль. А что как, они это самое не должны разглашать. Так что я не знаю. Ну, все говорят, да свой счет, да. Ну, так-то, да. А вот кто организации поддерживает, это же какие ресурсы надо поддерживать все эти фестивали, инфраструктуру, музеи. Что же не просто так. Это же делается по какому-то плану и умыслу, это же не стихия.
I saw Robbie and Rachel. If it's on your hips, it doesn't really matter as long as it doesn't just. Looks good.
Они тянули.
It's not like actually resting. The problem is your puny chest. That's what's
It's not supposed to actually rest on the chest. It doesn't look like it's standing off. It just looks like it's a little bigger on you.
Римлян в прошлом году не было, ни здесь, ни в форте Лауден. Обычно все время были. Да, там их должно быть. Разобрали. Нет, есть он. Целая пачка. Фаланга.
sorry. I mean, you are wearing your archaic tights as well. Let's just go full in.
Я так в лагерь еще не обходил.
Carry my cigars.
Все разговоры.
The cigars. Giving up on this authenticity. The judge has already been here.
Ух, куда бы присесть?
Just like old times. Yes, yes. We're representing, most of us are representing the top points of the archaic and classical era. So the citizen soldiers. We're about to do a presentation. We're going to explain everything. Oh, neat.
After doing the battle of Troy?
Oh, long after. That was hundreds of years. I mean, that's very much still in the mentality and the culture. But the Trojan War, which we actually do believe happened in some form, that was 12th century BC, so 500 or 600 years before. So as far before us as Rome is after us.
Да, у них очень интересное сейчас представление. И каждый год что-то добавляют понемножку. Как бы не свалиться.
Laszlo or John, you want to blow a horn?
Step over to the side, out of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start a presentation about ancient Greece. It'll take about 10 minutes. If you want to see it, I recommend kind of positioning yourself along the outside of this blue line, this way, that way. We're going to be talking this way.
Why don't you drink some water? Come on, we feel better. I'll just set it down there.
You serve it.
Vortex is collapsing every time now they put me on the ceiling. For a hot second there. You have to stomach something to make the same kind of in my body.
Oh, okay. Great.
Put something in there.
Oh, okay.
Active, yeah.
Yeah, no, I lived in Virginia for a few years, and I was judging this last year, and I haven't done a big event like this for a while.
Rosake! And taxis! And taxis!
Patrick's going to be after me. I think we're going to do this just as a single line, single rank. Okay.
They go like this. Rosake! Katates!
Ground your arms.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Greek Phalanx. Thanks for coming out today.
We represent the Greek hoplite citizen soldiers of the Greek city-states from about the 6th century to the 4th century BCE. Hoplite or oplite literally translates to man-at-arms, or basically a man with all the tools of war, that is. Basic elements would be the spear, the thrusting spear, the shield, and the helmet. Everything else is sort of extra. And a lot of the guys wouldn't have that equipment because they couldn't afford it. We're all equipped differently because we all equipped ourselves. We're not a professional army, we're not a trained army, we're a militia. We're a militia of the citizens, prosperous enough, not the aristocracy, but just the emerging sort of middling class is how we like to call it. These are mostly farmers, also tradesmen, but they're by and large they're the backbone of the Greek city-states economies. This is not warfare like, this is not the Trojan War, right? This is not Hector versus Achilles, a glorious struggle between heroes calling each other out and dueling for glory as their armies watch. You know, the Greeks loved that stuff. The Iliad is as close as they had to a holy book, but they fought in a very different way. And this phalanx here, we're representing one rank of a phalanx that probably would have been hundreds or even thousands long, and perhaps maybe an average of 8 ranks deep. You know, so a large city-state like Athens could turn out a phalanx of maybe 10,000 or more hoplites. A smaller city-state would just maybe have a few hundred. Now I'm saying city-states, you know, because Greece did not exist as a state. It didn't exist until the 19th century as a nation. Greece was an identity, it was a language, it was a religion, it was a culture. But politically, Greece was divided up into about 1,000 small city-states, each of which were politically distinct, each of which raised its own hoplite phalanx from its own citizens wealthy enough to supply the gear. We're going to walk through a little demonstration that we call the hoplite cycle. It sort of starts with the induction of that year's class of new hoplites. So if you can imagine, these are probably 18-year-old kids who have completed like a little basic training. They're now being fully inducted into their phalanx, which means that they're being fully invested as citizens of their city-state. This one that we're about to read is taken from a stone stele found outside Athens. It is attested, so the translation I'm giving you is as accurate as we could get it. Other city-states would have had something similar, a different oath maybe, but I think this oath in particular, you know, Athens is known as the cradle of democracy. And the way these guys fought, I think, has a lot to do with why that happened. You know, because again, we're not talking about warlords and kings and chieftains and aristocrats on horseback fighting for glory. We're talking about tradesmen and farmers fighting shield by shield, holding the line, not fighting for individual glory, but fighting collectively for their polis, for their city-state. And basically, to reduce a very complicated story to a soundbite, as these guys realized that the security of their city-states depended on them and not on the cavalry and not on the aristocrats and not on the kings and chieftains, they started wanting a bit more say in how things happened. So those farmers and those tradesmen started exercising political power, and that, in a very, very crude nutshell, is why democracy emerged in Athens and other city-states in this time. So I think this first part that we're going to do, I think this ephebic oath deserves to be a much more famous document. You know, along with the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, I think, as you'll see, this really is quite a manifesto of not just democracy, but the responsibilities that come with democracy. So imagine that instead of the seasoned veterans you see before you, these are a bunch of greenhorn kids being given their main rite of passage. I will never bring reproach upon my hallowed arms. I will never bring reproach upon my hallowed arms. Nor will I desert the comrade at whose side I stand.
Nor will I desert the comrade at whose side I stand.
But I will defend our altars and our hearths.
I will defend our altars and our hearths.
Single-handed or supported by many.
Single-handed or supported by many.
My native land I will not leave a diminished heritage.
My
but greater and better than when I received it. I will obey whoever is in authority and submit to the established laws and all others which the people shall harmoniously enact. If anyone tries to overthrow the Constitution, I will not permit him. But will come to its defense, single-handed or with the support of all. I will honor the religion of my fathers. Let the gods be my witness. So that is not the manifesto of a subject. That is not an oath of loyalty to a king or a chieftain. That is an oath of loyalty to an idea, a concept, a collective of people like themselves. So I think that deserves to be a little bit more famous than it is. That's the Ephebic Oath, the Athenian Ephebic Oath. So once a hoplite was inducted into his phalanx, like I say, they would not train, they would not practice at war. Different city-states had different policies about this. Sparta famously used a very heavily enslaved population to give this hoplite class time to train for war. So they were better soldiers than most. But most city-states, including Athens, were quite proud of the fact that they didn't train for war. When the time came, they could fight like anyone else, but they wanted to think that they spent most of their time doing other and better things. You know, philosophizing, creating drama, creating democracy, trade. So we are representing a pretty untrained crew, and this is reflected in the way that we fight. A phalanx is composed of all of the citizens able to support to supply their own armor. The call-up age is from 18 to 60, so you're very likely fighting next to your father, maybe your son, certainly everyone of any standing in your social circle, in your community. It's a very intimate kind of war. More often than not, you're going to be fighting a local enemy, another polis, maybe just over that hill or over that mountain range, usually over some relatively minor dispute, maybe some worthless farmland, or maybe it's a matter of honor. You know, the Trojan War was started over a stolen wife. You know, they're not necessarily looking for grand causes to go to war. As you'll see, the object is not to defeat the enemy and destroy them, it's to show who's stronger. So, when the call would go up for warfare with a neighboring polis, the call would go up in the market square, the agora, 3 days rations. Hoplites pack 3 days rations. And that's literally enough to get you hiked across the mountain, to fight the battle, and to come back. These are not long campaigns. Everyone's got other things to do. They've got businesses to mind, they've got fields to tend. So you'd collect, you'd march into the field, and your slaves would carry most of your equipment for you, because these are gentlemen. But once you get there, you'd armor up and form up facing the enemy across an open field just like this. And the enemy would be exactly identically equipped. Shield, spear, helmet, and any other armor that they could afford. Before the battle was joined, a very important ritual needed to be performed. I'm going to hand this off to my colleague, Dionisidoros, who's going to explain the religious preamble to a Greek hoplite battle.
It's a beautiful gift to have life. It's a beautiful gift to have air in your lungs, food in your belly, and water to drink. It's beautiful to have the sun shining down on us. Crops that grow from the ground, family members, our larger community of the polis city-state. These things don't come out of nowhere. They are given to us as gifts from the divine, from the gods. Without the gods, there is nothing. Without the gods, we do not have this planet. We do not have this world. We do not have our communities. Without the living sacred dead in the ground, whose bodies go in the ground, we then push the crops back up to give us sustainability none of us would be here. What it comes down to is recognizing that you are a part of a web, of a larger network, an ecosystem of self-dependent, of independency upon each other, interdependency, excuse me. And you must participate in this cycle. You must reciprocate. You cannot just take. You do not just receive. You must give back. And so the Greeks gave back in various forms, always recognizing that the reason that we're here, that we have blood flowing through our veins, is because of the gifts of the gods and our sacred dead. Whenever they ate an animal, it had to be ritually sacrificed. Typically that's in a festival or a religious, what we call religious ceremony, a ritual of some sort, so that meat is consecrated. Well, before entering a battle, there was a specific type of sacrifice that was done. The Greeks called it spagia. In this case, the meat is not being consumed. The animal is slaughtered, the blood is poured on the ground as an opening of the initiation of battle. The blood is poured on the ground so that the dead can drink, so that they don't come back, so that they are satiated. The blood is poured on the ground so that the chthonic gods provide us all of our wealth and all of our fortune are also appeased. So before going into battle, literally, in the minutes before going into the battle, there would be a sacrifice either of a goat or a sheep or a pig. And to simulate that, we're not really killing it, so rest assured. But you would bring out a seer or a mantis in front of the phalanx, and then the strategos, the leader, and ritually slaughter the animal, pour its blood on the ground, and interpret the signs if they were favorable for advancing into battle. If the signs were not good, there are many instances where the army just went away. They went back. They're like, nope, we're not going to cross the gods. We can see that the pattern laid out before us is not matching the mesocosmic pattern in front of us. Things are not in alignment. If the cosmos, Greek word cosmos means pattern, the pattern does not look right, we don't fight. It can be as simple as that. And if the sacrifice showed a bad signs and the situation was desperate enough, you might keep bringing out more animals and keep slaughtering them and killing them until the signs did prove favorable, including at the detriment of your formation. If the signs are not right, you cannot advance, you cannot fight. But in this case, the sign is good.
When the positive omen is received, the final step before battle would be for the strategos, the general. There are no officers in this army. It's just a rabble of hoplites led by one leader, who is probably elected to be the leader that day. The general would give a bit of an inspirational speech to his men, which might go something like this. Brave men, you stand beside your brothers, your fathers, your sons. Behind you lie your families, our homes. Before you stands the enemy, who violates your territory and impugns your honor. Drive them before you! The final ritual, which would take the phalanx directly into battle, is what we call the battle pan. The pan was a song that was sung collectively. It served three purposes. The first is to just give a simple rhythm that men can march to and that can help them maintain cohesion. The phalanx strength is its cohesion. The line must hold or the individuals are easily defeated within it. Second purpose is psychological. To sing this song collectively, to feel one of many fighting as a whole would be an incredibly empowering and comforting thing as you march into battle. And finally, and probably for the Greeks the most important, it is also, just like the sacrifice, an appeal to the gods. It is a prayer itself. And so our paean is speculative, but it's based upon things that we know they would have put into there. And also it's based loosely on a melody which actually survives from a slightly later era. Proseke Anulave! Lower your spears. Hear
us to Sota, great Father, Lord of thunder.
Hear us, to Sota, great Father, Lord of thunder.
Honor.
Sorry.
And you.
Sorry.
Hear us, Sota, great Father, Lord of thunder.
Hear us, to Sota, great Father, Lord of thunder.
And your divides men, she's brought the storm of war.
And your divides men, she's brought the storm of war.
We sing to your glory, made our libations.
Sing to your glory, made our libations.
Slaughtered the oxen, to you we burn the meat.
Slaughtered the oxen, to you we burn the meat.
Make grey-eyed Athena focus our frenzied fury.
Measure
our slow steps and guide our killing spears.
Measure our slow steps and guide our killing spears.
Now who are the brave men to fight this bloody battle?
We are the brave men to fight this bloody battle.
Offer your sweet lives, step up and bear the shield.
Offer our sweet lives, step up and bear the shield.
In phalanx we fight, one with the strength of many.
Phalanx we fight, one with the strength of many.
Fathers and sons together nevermore.
Fathers and sons together nevermore.
An unbroken line of gleaming bronze and iron.
Unbroken line of gleaming bronze and iron.
Who can feel death amid such noble love?
We can feel death amid such noble love.
Boom! And if we had done that right, a little better than I did, we would have ideally hit the enemy phalanx at that point. Now, to illustrate the actual nature of battle, we're gonna have the phalanx itself dissemble and stand along the far edge of the circle. We're gonna sort of give you an abstracted vision of the nature of hoplite battle by giving you our demonstration of a Greek Pyrrhic dance. Now this is again a
absolutely. It's probably day outside, isn't it?
come up with, but we know that this was something the Greeks did. Pyrrhic dances were performed often in festivals, often competitively, and it was an opportunity for young hoplites to demonstrate their coordination and their military prowess in synchronized armed dances. Now the one that we're going to perform for you, we've conceived to sort of illustrate the different phases of a hoplite battle. From the very first, bravado across the battlefield, talking smack about the other guy's moms, to maybe enduring the missile barrage that might provoke if our enemies were Persian, to our advance under the missiles, to closing with the enemy and fighting with at spear point before actually collapsing the phalanxes and fighting shield on shield. Eventually, one of the lines would break under that sort of pressure. Remember, these guys aren't trained soldiers, and this is a terrifying kind of combat. So probably within a matter of minutes, one side breaks, and the final phase of the dance simulates that sort of open pursuit in which most of the killing actually happens.
All of this, you should recognize those names. If you have a place where I can get actual powder
Oh, for next year. Oh, so before this. Wow.
I thought they were...
So, after the defeated had fled the battlefield, the official concession was for them to send a herald back to request the bodies of their dead be returned. This is a very important part of Greek religion and culture. It was almost universally honored. But not before some of the defeated armor was stripped off, like skinning an animal after a hunt, and mounted on what they call the tropeon, kind of a scarecrow, a temporary monument to the victory that day. Tropeon is derived from the word trophe, which means turn in Greece. It's what marked the turning point of the battle. It's where we get our word trophy. That is the one and only origin of the word trophy. That is the original trophy right there, erected after a hoplite battle as a temporary reminder of their victory that day. I say temporary because this was not a marble, chiseled in marble monument or a cast in bronze monument for all time. This is a very temporary thing. It might only last a few days or weeks. But the reason for that is because the Greeks would continue to coexist. That city you just defeated is still your neighbor. You'll continue to trade with them. You might even intermarry with them. You don't want to rub their noses in it for all time that you defeated them, because they might get to you next time. So thank you very much. And please, if you haven't yet, come by our camp to find out a lot more about what we do in ancient Greece more generally. Thank you very much.
Shield boss to get it back up, and then eventually I'll
Hey Andrew, I know you got a kid. I don't want to keep you from.
How you doing, man? Good to see
I just
you.
want to say hi to you.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's going good. I was telling guys got delayed. The guy.
I can see you starting out there. I couldn't see because the helmet kept falling down over my eyes.
There's been dances before where, like, during the dance it was worse than this. The helmet just went down over my eyes. So, like, this is ridiculous.
Weather is good. These guys will laugh.
Unfortunately, we have so what? Well, we
Oh, excuse me, can I pass? High tech in ancient times.
Huh?
High tech in ancient times. Yeah, backpack.
Oh, anachronistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
but no, that's one of those where like there's a lot of new pressure that they have discussion. Just not.
Oh, I'm falling down. See you tomorrow.
See you later.
Which just means piled rope. I don't know the origin of the So notice is just like hats you see every person. This is a great hat to be out in the sun and greasy. Like completely shade your face. Lightweight, probably made of either wool belt, which is straw, or some sort of grass, right? It would have been woven grasses.
Crocodile scales occasionally, but in Egypt. But that was
Before the time of the this is sort of the really effective. Just all he does is armor and steel and like the steel timbers. Specific 15th century land knights, actually untitled people who were being knights of the land, being hired for mostly shot powder fights. What you guys hear about last week now? Really just like a series of republics.
Is it real? Ballista? Functional?
It did at one point, but it doesn't work right now. We got to fix a couple of the things up there. But yeah, it shot an 18-inch bolt or a little round ball projectile.
Who made this?
I don't know who the maker was. We ended up getting it from Legio XIII, I believe, out of Washington, D.C. Legio XIII is one of the, I want to say, oldest reenactment groups in the United States. They've been doing it since like maybe the late 70s, early 80s.
14th Legion, what's history?
So, history of the 14th, we started with Caesar. We got wiped out. So Caesar rebuilt us. And then for the rest of the time when Caesar was in charge, he didn't use us because he was a little scared because he was very skeptical of their ability to handle things. So then years later, Legio XIV gets with Emperor Tiberius and the whole up north with the Germans. They start to build a reputation. Then they go over with Vespasian in 43 AD to the first conquest, or excuse me, the first full conquest of Britain that actually succeeds. And then they get us in there, and then Legio XIV is stationed in Britain for about 20 years. Now the revolt happens in 60 AD. We put down the revolt in 60 AD, and then we're called off of Britannia to deal with the Batavians in the Batavian role in 70 AD. After that, we get stationed in Carnunum in Austria.
Thank you. British.
And the Celts and a lot of the people that Rome were fighting like to cut. They like to cut chops like this, right? Romans, though, like to get in close and stab. No, kind of. You're on the right track. That is how you make stab. So that's what I call modern fencing or medieval fencing, right? But in this time period, really just trying to get right up in his face, get him underneath.
Yeah, so the full face is something.
Oh, if I let them cut off my leg, I'm about to. If you reach for my leg, I'm gonna do something like that. It's that simple, right?
Well, your sword will always be stuck, so that thing can go chop it.
Is the face mask being used in combat or solely in ceremony for parade?
I think that's what they base Narnia's face on.
Probably that or assassinate. This side on the heavy side is a little bit light. All the other ones are good, they're heavy. When they're light like this, I should really throw it back into the crucible. If it's heavy, I can trim off the edges or I can hammer it down thin and lose the excess. I was like, but it takes time to make You probably see it. You've seen this part already, right?
So yesterday,
This is like official.
You didn't know this either? The first thing that happens after everybody leaves is, hey, you want a beer?
5:15.
I'm just saying, dude, for the soccer. Bro, but I'm comfortable. I know. This is period correct. Period correct.
Hello, hello.
We do this all the time. When we get these events with all of these different ages coming through, yeah, it's
called it
clearing going through.
About theoretical Viking fishing that has a couple recipes in it, but it's all conjecture because they
Do you guys know each other after a while because you follow?
Well, I've got friends in World War II
that I do stuff with. We got buddies that in the Roman Legion,
help up in there. I mean, not everybody, but I know a lot of the guys. I used to do Civil War, so I know.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So this is spices or what?
I am Brother Martin. I am a Benedictine monk. And you say, why is a Benedictine monk hanging around with a bunch of Vikings?
Benedictines are medics, no?
Benedictines, well, they're all over the world. But I was captured at an abbey in England and brought to Ostvik, where the Jarl there decided to purchase me and keep me around because I knew enough about herbal cures.
Standard ancient Greek dogma.
So my job is to make herbal cures to help fix up their sword wounds and their arrow wounds and their normal illnesses like stomach ailments and headaches and stuff like that.
And
So these are herbal cures.
so Benedictines order it's medics, right?
And Benedictines are what?
Medics.
Not all
It's dealing with
Benedictines.
medicine.
That was just, a Benedictine abbey will have medical people, they'll have scribes, they'll have carpenters, they'll have gardeners, they have all the different things that would make a monastery self-sufficient. They'll have monks that do the different jobs. I just happen to be good at herbal medicines, so that's how they assign me.
Herbal. Benedictine. Benedictine Abbey. Three Musketeers, right? Remember?
Pardon me?
Three Musketeers. Dumas.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
No, that famous novel and movie. Three Musketeers. It was Benedictine Abbey somewhere.
Benedict was...
No, I mean it was part of the book.
It was part of the Roman Church?
It was it was Three Musketeers. It was in the book.
Oh, Three Musketeers?
Yeah, Abbey.
But that's not the same Benedict. But I think there was one of the Musketeers named Benedict, and that would make sense because he would have been admired and it would have been a name people would use. Yes. Benedict was much older than that.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Thank
you very much. I appreciate you coming by.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.
So that means that whatever color is...
Oh.
Hey, sir. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Byzantine, they would have more stuff on it, though, I would think. It'd be more detailed.
Yeah, they have all the ornate.
Ostvik Vikings.
Anglo-Saxon.
Is that correct?
Well, Swedish Vikings. Swedish That's right.
No, it is Viking.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you. Feel free to ask.
Many different kinds of arrow points.
Sure. I was not expecting that.
Do you want to lay them out a little bit further?
Yeah. That was different than what I thought.
What's that one for?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird actually about Vikings. We were actually very, very colorful. And the more color, the brighter the color, it just showed off your wealth. And so
Oh, that could be armor piercing.
Yes.
But this.
The ones that are triangular shape, these are all armor piercing. So that would pierce that chainmail over there.
So it does a couple things. So it increases the
These are just mostly personnel. Somebody's wearing a cloth tunic. This would be for hunting, small game. This we believe is also for
I made
fishing.
this one myself. Okay. So, any questions about it?
Oh, thank you.
All right. Welcome. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Somebody had chickens on the spit.
Yep.
Well, it's really cool. Thank you. Thank you. Keep going. Thank you.
Give me a hug. Corey, do you need a hug? Yeah. I do. Nobody else does.
Liam. Oh man. First food I've had all day. Are we ready? Is there anything we're waiting for?
I think we're ready. You can, but did we bring another one of these guys? That's fine.
Well, let's look where you live.
Wait, no. And you didn't. That doesn't count as looking.
Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, bro. Hey, thank you.
What was it?
Look in there, buddy. Thank you.
What's that have people stop? You're like this. Stop.
Yeah. So in real life, I do tree work. Yeah, I'm a tree climber.
Nice.
So I do that, but you know, it's mostly like this is my first event. Then Fort Loudon in May in Pennsylvania, I do that. Then there's another big event, Days of Nights in Ohio, Eastern Ohio that I go to.
I was listening to this lady's concert. А вырез ее...
А вот я
слушала этих женщин. А где это?
Не вижу. Не вижу их.
А что они, русские или они что-то представляли наши?
Русские, но нет, не наши, они тут. Они, да, вот в этой компании. Наталья с мужем, у них дочка еще. Они из Аннаполиса.
Пойду посмотрю, еще не смотрела. Я их слушала полчаса, сидела.
А что там было?
Они поют, женщины-пилоты. Ну, просто хиты поют.
Да. Вот они тут все сворачиваются уже.
Is this like a shield?
It is a shield. Like if you pick it up, it's going to be
I'm just going to have to hold it.
I don't think you can put it. It's pretty heavy.
I know it is very heavy.
Stick it on
If
your
it
arm.
will not.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wear it.
Not worth it.
You want to stick it on your arm? Hold it. Okay. Got to get the experience in this game. Yeah. Well, you have to stay
Hold it like you did for John to get hurt. Please.
That's an arm. Hold it. Don't tilt your head. All right, now I'm going to lift this up.
Eventually be able to make
жизнь потихоньку замирает. Oh, hi.
Do come in, out of that sun.
Oh.
Now, what are you working on over there?
I'm tablet weaving.
Oh, okay.
It makes a thin strip of a woven tapestry. We use that for girdles and garters and anything that needs a strap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very neat.
Hello.
Let everybody see.
Lieutenant?
Hello, sir.
What can I
How
show
are you?
I'm very well. How are you today?
Fantastic.
And what are you doing? Could I take pictures?
Of course.
Games.
World War II, U.S. Army. 1944.
Да, какие. Ой. Вот это инструмент.
It's gonna be like the Seven Kingdoms episode 2. We're gonna make a statue.
Are y'all local?
Some people are. I'm from Pennsylvania. Oh, so I took a hike here. He's definitely local.
Very local. Yeah, I got the native Virginian accent and everything.
Yeah, you're all by about 2,000 miles. It's like a member in our group. He keeps saying, I'm an American.
Okay. I don't know if I'm the weird. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
All over the youth.
what it means is this place is the camp of the devil's nightmare wedding.
I worked for a man, and I had a story just my family by my side. I thank my God above to be living today. All this actions and
You have questions? I have answers.
So this is a rental. This is helmet.
I'm sorry, say
that helmet over there. Turkish or?
Yes. We have fought Suleiman the Magnificent once before, and we're now on our way to Vienna, Austria in 1529 to defend it from Suleiman the Magnificent. And our Hauptmann, our captain, took this as a trophy.
It is also heavy, that pistol. In comparison with later pistols, it's...
Yes, this is the latest technology. It's called a wheel lock. You would, with a key, turn this. You have pyrite, fool's gold here. When you pull the trigger, this snaps down, the wheel spins, causing spark, and ignites. Much like a big lighter. This is the latest technology. This takes a lot of people to make because it requires a lot of internal mechanisms. This is what we're using now. You would have a piece of slow match, and you would bring it forward to ignite.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, they upstaged me. I had this beautiful collection of tools out, and all anybody said was, "Oh, look, a leech." And the leech, Brom was his name. He actually belonged to an educational science type store, and he would sit on one end and he'd anchor.
Yeah, just because I had like a...
Okay, thank you. Can I...
Take your salt.
703.
I'm just trying to do it because I feel like I'm supposed to do it.
So we're the crew of the Retribution, sir.
Yeah.
We are a fictional privateership. This way we can use different scenarios all throughout the golden age of piracy, and that way we can change up what we do every year. So Instead of just reenacting one battle, we can reenact a whole bunch of different things. Right now we're doing the devastation of the storm of 1703, and it was a Category 2 hurricane that hit the south of England and just wiped things out. So,
It managed to blow a ship to where it off its anchor, and they had to tie down a cannon and throw it in the water. And that worked, it saved them, crazily enough, and it destroyed a bunch of windmills, and some of them were spinning so fast they actually combusted and lit on fire. It was pretty intense.
Interesting. Thank you.
Nice, that's very nice. It does have real soul.
It might be, it's probably technically more 20th century, but it is.
It's still.
It'll be appropriate for it.
The fact, the important part is that it's racist.
Irish Rebellion 1798. Unfortunately failed, but we'll get them next time. You know.
We'll see you around.
At least see us.
Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was Napoleonic times. Did French, was any French influence or inspiration?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, a lot of the Irish revolutionaries had traveled to France before the revolution in 1798 and attempted to get help from the French. They were very inspired by the republicanism of the French Revolution, and men like Edward Fitzgerald. He actually tried to get French support for the war, and eventually about 1,000 French soldiers did land in support of the Irish Rebellion, but they were a little bit too late. The rebellion had already been squashed, and the small number of French soldiers were able to be easily defeated by the English. So it wasn't a huge help. They came a little too late, you know.
Interesting. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Take this, kind of rip off the top. We're going to pour the amount of powder that we need into the barrel, save a little bit of that powder so that we can prime the pan, which is the part where the spark hits and lights the rest of it on the outside. And then we're going to take the ball and put it down,
see you tomorrow.
and we're going to ram it down with the ramrod.
До свидания.
But we need to be able to keep all
That's the play.
And they all got
Where were you with your demo? The penalty here is someone in a talking about the basics of the use. Come on. That is a risk I'm willing to take.
Have a firing tool now.
That was
You gonna grab a certain charge?
Now he's gonna get to beat me.
So, like everybody else over here, we're using muskets. Right, flintlock musket. This is the French 1728 model. It remains in service for 150 years, basically unchanged until they rifle it. Right? But if you go down to the Civil War guys, you look at what they have, it's this with rifling and a percussion. But it's this design goes all the way through from the early 1700s to the middle 1800s.
No, they're talking about
Now, I'm representing an English soldier, and I have very strict instructions. This is what I can do. That's it. He's going to come at me, make himself small, and that point is the only part of this that's sharp.
If I can push that out of the way, then I've got a shot at him from the side, and that's
now,
the
what
goal.
he doesn't want to do is he's not the only one here. So there are a bunch of his friends over here. So he's got to get my point and get it up and away. I have one thing I can do to defend myself. Right, because he's coming toward me, and that's the only thing I can do, is he's gonna, boom. And that might not even save me, because that sword's still coming down with a lot of weight. But the guy behind me is gonna take care of him. Because he's now got a couple of broken ribs. It's really hard to wield a sword when you have broken ribs.
And something else to consider about this too is that in the early days, the tactic that we're demonstrating is something called the Highland Charge. So the Highlanders' goal was to try to close that distance. They would absorb a volley or two of musket fire, but if they could close that distance where they could use these, this is much more effective than a musket at close range. So once you close that distance, if you could achieve that, that would give them an advantage on the battlefield. But one important advantage that the English did have, or innovation I should say, the earliest bayonets were plug bayonets, where you would plug it into the end of your musket, and once it was fixed, you couldn't fire anymore. So you had to wait until the last possible second to make that decision to fix your bayonet, then you can't load anymore, and you're standing there with your spear ready to go.
This is a relatively new innovation, the socket bayonet.
Yeah, so having a socket bayonet allows you to reload and fire whilst having your bayonet fixed. So you can have that ready to go. You don't have to make that decision of, oh my gosh, there's thousands of screaming Highlanders bearing down on me. Do I make this decision to fix my bayonet now? You know, it's a big decision to make. It's a big psychological issue to overcome on the battlefield.
The final battle, they came up with another solution. The English had trained. They said, okay, this is not working, so I'm going to do something else. He gets this close, and now I've just stabbed his friend, and my buddy has stabbed him. Now, if you're the guy on the end, you're kind of screwed. Right?
It happens in war.
Right? Or you step off to the side, and then you come back in. Right? But you gotta really trust that everybody's gonna do what they're supposed to. And that was the thing that finally put an end to the Highland Charge. Was that tactic, Cumberland's army and there's a description at one of the Revolutionary War battles early on down in Carolinas. I can't remember which battle.
Creek Bridge.
Was it Moores Creek?
The last Highland Charge?
Well, no, well, yeah, there was the Highland Charge at Moores Creek. But there was a guy who was had been a surgeon with the Jacobites and was serving the Revolutionary War 30 years later. And he is describing the wounds, and he says, oh, this is just like what we saw at, I think he'd been with the English, but basically he's saying this is just like we saw at Culloden, and it was pierced lungs. Bayonets piercing the lung. And separating the ribs.
Yeah, so that's a bit about the tactics. The overall movement, of course, the Jacobites are trying to replace or trying to put the Stuarts back on the throne of Great Britain. The House of Hanover is now the monarchs of Great Britain. So that's their overall goal, is to restore the Stuarts to the throne of Great Britain. Ultimately, they fail in that goal. They're very much the minority faction within Great Britain. They're not able to get enough support, and that's really the downfall of the movement. But, and if y'all have seen or heard of Outlander, it's the same time frame. So.
Questions, or does anybody want to hold a point?
Can I hold it?
Yeah, sure. Which point do you keep a hand on?
Brian, can you take a picture of me?
Oh, thank you.
Which one?
Which one do you want?
Someday you're gonna have to.
First the day, you know. Exactly. We sort of got moved out every, 20 to 30 years. There were bells.
Yeah.
Il a sévu avec l'armée américaine.
You have news, the president, exactly what they has done. He's not president forever. And, really, any opponents of whatever So, yes, right. So, in fact, the way I look at it is, government's saying, well, we're expanding government for your
It's like different nations. I went to what do you think about that before it But then again, if you go down there, a lot of people were slaves have Irish names.
Yes.
I know.
Because
I know.
the Irish were sent there as slaves.
It's a
One more.
Get up.
So of course, the PSI is going to be different. It's a different size and shape.
Makes sense.
But I didn't know there was a wrong size tire on the car. I don't even know how that got started.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, that was
It's the most exciting.
These are some of the tools of the navigator's trade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are you familiar?
No, it looks like someone explained me last year.
Okay, yeah. This is a traverse board. The watch on board ship was 4 hours long, and so there's 8 dots, 8 holes here. So each watch was broken up into 30-minute increments, and you could mark your course and your speed, and then at the end of the watch you hand it back, and the navigator will then be able to deduce the position. So.
Oh. Smart way. It's better technology than electronics. Doesn't need electric power.
That's right. And
can work in hard environment, cold climate, very warm climate.
Absolutely.
Under any conditions.
Yep.
Very ingenious.
And the technology for the navigator didn't change much for 500 years. And even today, where we're using the GPS, but the GPS is doing the same thing as a sextant would do. It just does it faster. It does it more accurate. It does it many times a second, but it answers the same questions.
Oh, thank you.
Good. Happy to see you all here.
It's
I'm
good
sure
to see you too.
Sunday I'll go around
Maybe
and
next
chat more.
time we'll be side by side and we
Hopefully.
can sing again.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, good to see you.
And last weekend they said, well, you know, we may extend you to...
That's one of the more unique applications.
Yeah. No, and if you're not sure what you can use that for, one of my favorite things is helping people figure job.
It's a great history. I love reading about it. It's so much drama. You know, I was just having this conversation.
Hello. You are photographing a original British musket of 1810, 1815.
Not replica, it is original one.
Green is like a triangle.
Pardon?
It's not replica, it is original.
Original? Original.
Ah.
Yeah.
There's the road to Concord. Excuse me. I swear to God.
Oh, super.
But let's just over there. And it really hit me like, wow.
How did it survive? It was in the museum, someone's
No, this is my property.
Collection.
I bought it at a gun show.
Ah.
In Maryland, 13 years ago.
He wanted the confrontation, and he got it.
This is original. This is reproduction. This is the one I really shoot for hobby.
Yeah.
No, but
Super.
anyway, it was good. Somebody was going to start that war anyway. I don't think too much about it.
Oh,
marking. Correct marking. This is hobby gun. It's marked different. This is for fun.
Yeah.
This is to show.
There are some minor differences.
Yeah, minor. Yeah.
In details.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you know, they weren't appreciated. You know, no, I get that. They were wrong. They never seen his art.